Continuing with the terms and concepts, the next one that we pick up is the organized sector. The organized sector is that sector of the economy which are generally big and are under the jurisdiction, not exactly that it is controlled by, but the government has some say in this sector. So, there are fixed rules and regulations, there are laws about the employment. That is, the people who work there get very satisfactory happiness. They get salaries and other benefits also from the company. That is, they follow the norms which are being dictated by the government. That is the organized sector of the economy. Next is the unorganized sector of the economy. Well, all these small units fall under the unorganized sector. Generally, they are scattered and the rules of employment are missing. They just give some consolidated sum of salary to their people, but the worst is that in some fields it is a kind of an employment which is given as and when required. That is, when there is need, they employ people and then they throw them out. It is like hiring and firing as and when required. Next is economic activities. Economic activities are all such activities which are done in order to earn money. For that matter, most of the professions like that of a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, all fall under the category of economic activities, because all of them work for the sole aim of earning money. So, when your desire is to extract money, to get money out of your profession, that is an economic activity. Next is non-economic activity. Now, you must be wondering if there are at all any non-economic activity. First of all, a non-economic activity is that activity which is done to actually gain some religious or emotional or social happiness. It is not done in order to get money. It is not for monetary gains. And here when we talk of the people engaged in religious activities, the people working in the house, that is your mother who is working day and night in the house, is not doing it to earn money in the house, because she is emotionally attached to all the members of the family in the house. So, it is a non-economic activity. Next is the gross domestic product. Well, as popularly called as GDP. GDP is the value of final goods and services produced in a country in 1 year. That is the gross domestic product. It is actually calculated on the final goods which are produced in the country. Now, you must be wondering what final goods are. As I told you earlier also, the final goods are generally those goods which come out of the secondary sector. As we said, flour is a primary sector thing. When it turns into biscuits, it is a secondary activity product and it is also a final product. It is just the way it is available, you make use of it, that is the final good. So, the gross domestic product is calculated on the basis of the final goods and services produced in a year in a country, the value of that is calculated. By this time, you have understood that most of the work which is undertaken is for generating money. And the saddest part would be when you do not have the means, when you do not have a job to generate money. So that particular condition of the human being is termed as unemployment. Unemployment is in fact that situation when the person is willing to work but he has no work to do. That is, that desire is there but he is unable to find a suitable job for himself. It is said that the farmers, if they stop working in their fields, then the people in the cities will die of starvation. Now, the various kinds of unemployment which are there in the societies are disguised unemployment. As the word suggests, disguised, that is, it is not visible. Meaning to say that in a particular work, the number of people who are employed are much more than what they should be. That is, the work requirement of the manpower is just 5 people and the people who are working there are 10. So, the 5 people who are working there are the disguised unemployeds. That is, the income which is coming out of that particular work is, supposing 1000 rupees is being distributed amongst 10 people, but the requirement is of 5, otherwise it would have been 200 rupees per head. Generally, this kind of disguised unemployment is seen in the fields, that is the farmers. Since they do not have any other work to do, so the entire family, the man, the lady, the children, everybody works in the field, and this is disguised unemployment. Next is seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment is caused because employment at some places is for a specified period of time. Again, we talk of the agricultural sector. When it's the harvesting season, when it's the sowing season, that's the time when the requirement of manpower is more. So, the people who are employed are for just that particular period. This gives rise to seasonal unemployment. Next is structural unemployment. Structural unemployment is that stage of unemployment when the economy of the country fails to generate jobs for its people. It could be because the economy is weak, because it is not able to give those kind of infrastructure and those kind of jobs to the people that they are looking for. So, when the economy weakens, when the economy fails, when the government is not able to provide, it gives rise to structural unemployment. Next is technological unemployment. Well, this is the new segment which has come in unemployment, and that's the technological unemployment. It is due to the use of machines and the computers that the people are actually losing their jobs. Wherein 10 people were required earlier, the requirement has come down to 2. So, due to the technology advancement, it is giving rise to unemployment. Well, we have been talking in these terms about what is the stage wherein a man does not have his job and what are the various kinds of unemployment which are prevalent in the society. The rest of the terms I talk about in the next clipping. Talking about unemployment, we go further to two other kind of unemployments which are prevalent in the society. Next is the frictional unemployment. In fact, what happens is that when a particular unit or a factory is transferred to another place, the workers, the laborers could be unwilling to shift to that place due to various reasons. And this phase of unemployment is termed as frictional unemployment, because a labor might need some time to get himself to terms that he shifts from that place and goes and joins the job where it has shifted to, or he learns something new and picks up another job. So, the time period in between this, the transition period, is called as the frictional unemployment. Next is open employment. Now, in contrast to the disguised unemployment that we have seen, wherein people seem to be employed but they are in fact underemployed. Here the case is that it is openly visible that the people are unemployed. For example, a landless farmer or laborer could be looking for a job on the farms here and there, but he is unable to get a job for him, that is, he is chronically unemployed, is actually called as open unemployment. That is, when he actually has nothing in hand and it is clearly visible to the people, that is open unemployment. Well, another term that you must know is the skilled labor. Skilled labor is that person who has a technical knowledge, training or education as is required for a particular job. He is high in demand because he knows his job very well. So, a person who is either technologically or educationally sound in the field is called as a skilled labor. Well, depending on all this, we were talking of the Indian economy. First of all, the most important that seems to be are the sectors of the economy which we have already spoken about, the primary, the secondary and the tertiary sector.